All right, so for 72, it is asking us if the sequence is increasing, decreasing, or not monotonic. So not monotonic means that it doesn't always, from one term to the next, it doesn't always increase or always decrease. Okay, so our an is going to be equal to -2 to the power of n plus 1. And I'm just going to split this off into two parts so that we can analyze it. So this is going to be equal to -1 to the power of n plus 1 times 2 to the power of n plus 1. Okay, and already we can see that this term here on the left is just going to oscillate between -1 and +1, right? So it's going to go if an, and let's just put a few terms here. If n is equal to 1, we're going to have -1 to the power of 1 plus 1. So that's going to be 1 times 2 to the power of 1 plus 1 is 2 to the power of 2. So that is 4, which is equal to 4. If n is equal to 2, we're going to have -1 to the power of 2 plus 1. So -1 to the power of 3 is -1 times 2 to the power of 3, so that's going to be times 8, so -8. If n is equal to 3, we're going to have -1 to the power of 4, so 1 times 2 to the power of 4, that is 16, and so that is +16. If n is equal to 4, we're going to have -1 to the power of 5, so -1 times 2 to the power of 5, which is 32, that's going to be -32. So we already can see that this is definitely not monotonic, right? Because monotonic means either always increasing or always decreasing. And so we can see that over here, from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2, it decreases, and then it increases, and then it decreases. So not monotonic, right? So we can say that an is not monotonic. And we can also see that an is not bounded, right? Because the left-hand side, this goes from -1 to +1. It just oscillates back and forth. But then on the right term, 2 to the power of n plus 1, as n goes to infinity, it's going to be 2 to the power of infinity. This is going to go to infinity, right? As we can see here, the module, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's going to go 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and so on. And so we can see that this tends to infinity, but it's just going to oscillate between positive and negative infinity. And so we can say that an is not bounded. And so that is it for number 72.